Hey y'all, it's Christy from Teadoddles, and it's a Teadoddles Talks sort of video, so I can tell y'all about what I have actually done, what my plans are for July, even though we're getting close to the middle of July. All right, but first let's say welcome new subscribers, welcome back subscribers. I'm happy to have you here with me and my maker shenanigans. I do like to do the sewing things, the yarny things, and the DIY things, so you'll see a little bit of all of that here on this channel. If you like to make things, you might like it here. Just my shirt. Thought I did that before I started, but you know. All right, so I have managed to finish a couple of things that I'm going to show y'all. And I pulled a couple of things I really want to work on this month. So I'm trying to make my goals smaller, but get some things accomplished, because my maker mojo has been kind of, since summer started. I'm blaming it on the heat. That's what I'm going to say. But yeah, I'm just going to show y'all a couple of things I've finished this month. And then at the end, I'll talk about some things you can expect to see coming up video-wise. All right. So first off, I finished this shirt. Now this is, hold on, I left my pattern over here. Okay, this is the Maggie shirt by Style Arc. Right there. Now, this shirt has a placket that had little buttons because it went down really far. I wasn't really understanding why they made it go down that far, because it didn't need to go that far to go over your head. So I guess it's just a design thing. So mine is, I sewed it. I didn't feel like sewing on little snaps for this, because I thought I'm never going to undo those snaps. So I just sewed it up to the point where it stays split open, and that's fine. The other issue I had with this shirt, which is my own fault, nothing to do with the pattern, when I had cut it out originally, I cut it out too big. Some of these things were cut out, and I just cut them out to the biggest size I had, and I didn't take the time to see what size I actually needed to cut out. And so I took it in, and then I forgot that I did French seams on this. There was a French seam to account for in 2 places on this sleeve, not just one. And so the sleeve opening got too small, which you can see here. It comes out a little bit, but it was coming down to my elbow originally. And I was like, well, so I cut it off where it started curving to the point where I could get a sleeve opening that was big enough for me to wear comfortably, because this is not stretchy fabric. And then I could finish off the hem. So it still comes probably out here somewhere. So it's still like a regular short sleeve. And then it fits me much better. I like the way this fits. It kind of has it has a pleat in this front area too, up under the placket. And then it has a pleat on the back side, which makes it roomier down at the bottom, which is what I needed. And then I loved this little bird print. Just as a polyester, typically I don't like polyesters because they get so hot here in the summertime. But I really loved this print, and I wore it for 4th of July weekend. I have these bright red rayon pants, which were purchased, and it went really well with that. So I do like the way this fits. So it turned out really well. Now, as far as sewing otherwise, I also finished a mini quilt, which I had already sewn the top together. I just needed to put a back on, quilt it, and put the binding on, which is what I did. This was a quilt kit I got from Fat Quarter Shop. It was one of their boxes they do for different occasions sometimes. And I was hoping, I had planned on getting it done to hang up for the weekend, and I didn't quite get it done. So that's all right. But this is the mini quilt. So the kit came with all the colorful fabrics. This background fabric was a fabric I had to afford for my stash to use to go with it. The quilt kit came with these fabrics and that middle piece, and it came with enough fabric to do the binding. So, and I just went with the starburst in the middle, as you can see, and I quilted out starburst across the quilt. And then I put this cute blue and white gingham on the back that I had in my stash. So I think this is like, what is this? I got my little mat here. Yeah, it's something like 31 by 31. So it's meant to hang on the wall. But and how cute. And it's one little mini quilt I've got done from my stash. So yeah. Now let's talk about what I'm going to, because I didn't get anything else. No crochet projects or any other project done this month. Did I even do any other kind of, I'm trying to think. Oh, I did fix my bestie's bracelet. I guess that counts as a little project. I feel like I did something else. I know that's got to do with something else. I'll talk about that at the end. All right, so this month I'm trying not to get too many goals going, because I set too many goals per month at the beginning of the year. It got overwhelming quickly, and I had to reassess. And it took me a while to reassess. I'm getting there. So one thing I want to do is catch up my forecast blanket I started. I have 3 months done on it. That's it. So I've got 3 months to catch up, and then the rest of this month. So this is this is really the front of it. This is what I have so far. 3 months is all I have in here. So this evening I'm going to sit and weave in all these loose ends, because once I get a row done, I like to weave in the ends so it's done. And then I'm going to try to get that caught up. By the end of the month, I hope to be caught up to the point where I can do that once a week like I was doing in the first place. All right, so, and then I'm going to finish this blanket. That is not too far from being finished. It's this one that I put blanket thread and some Red Heart with Love blended together. It's pretty, it's gonna be a good lap blanket by the time I'm done with it. This is what I've got left, and once this is, whichever one of these finishes first, that's going to be the end of the blanket. So that's all I've got to do on that one. So I wanted to go ahead and get that finished, and then it'll be ready when it gets colder weather, which is going to be a while, but it'll be there. Now, so those are just two that I want to focus on finishing up. Now, if I finish up this blanket, I may start something else to finish up or whatever. But that's all I'm going to say that I'm going to get done. And now, clothing wise, I want to finish fixing this shirt here. This is a Victoria tee, and this is a free pattern from Vogue. Not Vogue. Mood Fabrics. That's what it's from. They have a lot of free patterns. The only thing about them is that you have to know some things about sewing to be able to use them correctly, because they don't have like full-on instructions like a pattern you would buy. They have usually a blog post that goes along with it that tells you more information about it. So you kind of have to go with that. I've tried to make this one time, and the whole front collar thing was not working right. So I have a different fabric I'm going to use. So I've got to kind of cut apart something I've already done and redo it. And that's what I'm going to do with this. Get that one finished. And then I decided what I'm going to do with all these quilt blocks of the month I got over here that I've been wanting to finish. I'm going to concentrate on one for the month and go from there. The first one I picked was this Cotton Cuts Gnome of the month, because I don't have as many blocks to finish. It's already cut out, so should be an easy one to get through. I get all the blocks done, and then I can move on to the next one. So those are my goals for this month. Like I said, I'm trying to set smaller ones so that I don't get overwhelmed and I can get some things done. I'm also hoping to put some more bags in the shop. I haven't been doing that, and there's still bags in there currently, and there's some fabric in there and some yarn in there. I'll be probably by the end of this month having a sale in there, so keep your eye out on that. I've got that wonderful koi pond fabric that I'm still that's over there. It's cut out and I've started working on it. I just haven't finished any bags for that. So that's coming up. And then I also have some bags ideas for some totes, which I need to use my Cricut Maker for, to put some things on the front. That's coming up. And I also have to get things in the work for the t-shirt I wanted to make, the one about maker joy and unfettered creativity. I just haven't done it yet. So I gotta get out my little maker funk and get stuff going. Like I said, I'm gonna blame it on the heat. It's melting my brain just a little bit. And what else? There was something. Oh, the other thing that I was going to talk about that I did this because I was off last week, and there were a lot of things that went on that I didn't expect to go on that took away some time from stuff I was going to do. One of them being that there was someone on Facebook who they had all these National Geographic magazines. They were wanting to know if somebody wanted them, which I immediately thought about. There's art projects you can do with them, and I thought about the art teacher at our local high school, and I said she probably would want them, and I didn't calculate in my brain how many magazines it actually was, because she said it was 30 years worth of magazines. Well, that magazine comes out every month. So it was over 300 magazines. And yeah, it was a lot. But she just asked me to take her boxes, and she packed them up, and then I went and picked them up, which now they're sitting in my living room because the art teacher's not back in school till the end of the month. So I can't take them to the school until she's back in school. So yeah, that's a lot. And then I already had a pile of stuff in there where I had cleaned out my room, which I'm in the process of adding more stuff to it. So I may have to make 2 trips to get all of that up there. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a workout. But the woman who I got them from, she actually is an artist herself. Her name is Joy Eubanks, and she paints windows around town. She does all the pretty paintings on the windows and stuff, and she does some other things too. But that's what most people know her for. So it was nice to meet another maker and talk about that with her too. And I feel like there's something else I was going to talk to y'all about, and now I can't think of it. I almost didn't do this video today because I went to visit my parents, and then the rain was happening and stuff, and I got home later than I thought, and I said, let me go ahead and do this, because I got out of the habit of doing it on Fridays, and I want to get back in the habit of doing it like I had been. So, and setting those goals so I can tell y'all, and y'all can maybe keep me accountable. Okay, this is me popping in between my goodbye and everything, because I forgot to talk about videos coming up on the channel. I am going to continue my slow stitch series. I've done a flat button and a shank button video, how to hand sew, and I'll be doing like the clasp, can't think of the hooks, the little metal hooks you put on the back of shirts. Sometimes you'll see them a lot of times on the back where they leave a little open so you'll be able to get it over your head, those kind of hooks. And I'll be doing snaps, like the sewing snaps, which are different than the ones you put in with the tool, because there's some materials that it's better to use the sewing snap on. And then I'm also going to be finishing up my heart painting and get the video up for that. It'll be one of those video compilations where I play the music and stuff of me painting the heart. So those are 2 things coming up. I haven't done a blog post in a really long time, but that is coming too. I still have all my pictures from making strawberry jam earlier this year. So that'll be the first one to come back out, and then I'll be working towards more blog posts upcoming and getting my reprintables for the people who are subscribed updated. So that's all. I just forgot to mention that at the end, and I'm going to insert it between my goodbye and everything. So you'll see the goodbye in just a minute. So. But yeah, that's my goals for this month. Just to try to get those few things done. Anything else that happens will be a plus, a bonus. But I just want to make sure I get these things done, and then I can move to the next. And that's what I'm trying to do. We're in the second half of the year already, which is hard to believe, but yes, we are. So I'm looking forward to getting back into my maker things, and I think I'm gonna find me some kind of movie to watch or show or something this evening, and sit down and weave in these ends and get some days done on this blanket over here. And then I can move on from there. So that's going to be all for this video. Just a shorter video, just catching y'all up. And y'all remember to have a life lived creatively. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.